Welcome to your chair yoga for beginners class. Hi friends, welcome back to your practice. I am Katie Arnold. Now, if you are a seasoned yogi and thinking that chair yoga is not at all something you would be interested in, I want to encourage you to hang around for this practice today, to challenge yourself, to change up your yoga practice a little bit. And I also want to remind you that chair yoga is just using a chair as a prop, just like we introduce blocks and bolsters and blankets and things to enhance and change our practice a little bit. A chair is doing the same thing. This practice today is a really gentle practice, which is one reason why it's great for beginners, whether you are new to yoga, new to chair yoga. But this is also a really great practice for someone who has been sitting at their desk all day or who needs a little bit of an opportunity to kind of like stretch things out a little bit. If you've been sitting for a long time, we are going to actually be seated for this entire practice, but we're still going to help open things up in the body, and we're going to help kind of ground back into our body. So prop wise, you do need a chair. Make sure it is a chair that you can get both feet firmly planted down on the mat. You don't necessarily need that chair to have a back to it, but it's fine and great if it does. Mine does. So go ahead, grab your chair and meet me right back here. All right, so we're just going to get started by grounding into our seat. Get both feet down on the floor beneath you. If you are doing this practice and you're maybe at work or something like that, if you have the ability to kind of take off your shoes and get your feet firmly planted, I think that's a really great option. But I also totally understand if that is not something that is going to be an option for you. So if it's not, we're just going to do our best here. But I want you to really start to find that grounding from the feet. So building a solid foundation, feet firmly planted down on the mat, finding that length through the legs and to your seat. And then finding that grounding into the sit bones. And then again, finding the length up through the spine, stacking shoulders over our hips, head over the shoulders. And your hands can just rest down on your thighs. If you're comfortable with it, close down the eyes or just soften your gaze inward. And we're just starting to release any distractions. Feel this feeling of literally grounding into our body, into our seat bones, into our feet, tuning inward, allowing that breath to just flow really gently and easily. You can build your Ujjayi breath if that feels supportive, but otherwise, no specific breath pattern here. And I will give some breath cues, but again, there's not a specific breath pattern. It's just some movements that we want to introduce with an inhale versus an exhale. So inhale, find a little bit more length. And exhale, drop your chin down towards your chest. And start to roll the right ear towards the right shoulder. Breathing into the left side of the neck. And start to roll the chin back down towards the chest. And then over towards the left. So left ear down towards the left shoulder. Shoulders softening down the back. And breathing into that right side now. And bring the chin back down towards center. And inhale, lift your head up. Hands are going to come onto your knees. And inhale, start to puff that chest up. Feel the shoulder blades pull back together. And then exhale, start to round your spine. Bring your chin towards your chest. So it's a seated cat-cow. Inhale, chest puffs forward, shoulders pull back. And then exhale, round the spine, bring the chin to your chest. Inhale, open and expand. And exhale, round that spine. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Let's take one more. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. And then inhale, come back up through neutral. We're going to sit a little bit more forward on the edge of your chair. We're going to start by keeping the left foot planted down and extend that right leg out. So we're just on the heel of that right foot. Inhale, find length up through your spine. And exhale, start to fold over that right leg. So maybe your fingertips come down to the mat and they can kind of rest right here. Maybe your hands just come to your thigh or your shin or whatever feels supportive. But I want you to start to feel a little bit of a stretch down the back of that right leg. So down into that hamstring. And if you need to make a few adjustments to make this more comfortable, you are welcome to make those adjustments. Two more breaths. And inhale, start to roll it back up. Slide that right foot back. We come back to both feet down on the mat. And then inhale, open up that chest. Take that seated cow. Exhale, round that spine back to that seated cat. And back up through neutral. Right foot stays down this time. Extend that left leg. If for some reason you were opposite before, just make sure you get your opposite leg this time. Left heel down on the mat. Length up through the spine. And exhale, fold it forward. And it's okay if one side feels a little bit tighter than the other. Maybe one side you can find a little bit greater of a fold. Totally fine. And inhale, start to roll it back up. Bring that left foot back down on the mat. You can scoot your seat back a little bit if that feels nice for you. And then inhale, reach those arms out, palms meeting overhead. And exhale, twist it over towards the right. So left hand crosses to that right knee. Right hand can rest on the back or on the bottom of your chair or the back of the seat of your chair. Finding length up through the spine and just enjoying the seated twist. And in yoga, we talk about kind of finding this edge. So we're talking about this space where we find that stretch that we might be seeking, but we're not going so far to a place that we're feeling pain. And so I want you to think in this twist, like, don't try to force anything here, but find the twist that feels really nice and supportive. Inhale, bring it back up through center. And then exhale, take that twist to the left. Right hand crosses to that left knee. Left hand planting behind the hip on the back of your chair seat. And we keep that spine long. So it's like someone's pulling a string up through the crown of your head. And inhale, bring it back up through center. And exhale, hands right back down. So keep that left foot down. We're going to cross that right ankle over the left thigh. So we come into a seated figure 4 position. And breathing into our hips. Thinking about that right knee kind of moving towards the ground. It's not moving, but we think about it kind of like moving in that direction, and that's the direction of us working to get this opening. Flex that right foot so you help protect your knee. And start to unwind. Bring that right foot back down to the mat and just take it right over to the other side, bringing that left ankle on top of that right knee. And I like to bring my left hand to kind of the inside of that left thigh. And that just helps me kind of ground into this idea of left knee pulling down towards the ground. And unwind those legs. Both feet back down to the mat. You can sit a little bit further back on your chair. And we're just going to start to hinge at the hips, fold all the way down, just folding over those legs. So your head can kind of fall between the knees, arms resting down to the mat, however feels supportive, just letting them be heavy. And kind of while you're here, if it feels okay, you might kind of move that head around, shaking the head yes, shaking it no, releasing any tension in the neck. And just generally allowing the head to be heavy.
If you can, release any tension in the upper back and shoulders. So they just get to kind of hang and rest on the thighs and the knees. And slowly just start to roll it up, moving really, really slow. And landing back in that same just seat that we started this practice with. Feet down, grounding into the feet, grounding into the sit bones. Hands resting down on your thighs. Long spine, shoulders over hips, head over shoulders. And just feeling what it's like to be in the physical body, to be present with the physical body. Noticing anything that may feel a little bit different than the start of this short seated practice. I already just feel more grounded in the present moment, but literally just already more grounded in the physical body. And I find a lot of comfort in that feeling of knowing that all it requires is just a few moments to tune in with myself. And I can pull myself back into this space. And just take a brief scan of your body as you do this check-in. If you notice there's a space in your body that's maybe holding some stress, holding some tension, I want you to bring your awareness to that part of your body. Take a breath in through your nose. And then take a sigh out of an open mouth and think of just like releasing that stress from that part of the body. And maybe you keep scanning, you keep noticing, and you find another part of the body that's holding some physical stress and tension. And you bring your awareness to that part of your body. You take a breath in, and you exhale and release the stress that's lingering in that part of the body. And for our final few moments of this practice, I want you to continue this brief body scan, releasing any stress, any tension that you might be finding. Seeing if we can just let it go a little bit more.
And as you finish your body scan, noticing how you feel now. And inhale, sweep those arms out nice and wide. Let your palms meet overhead. And pull your hands down through heart center. Thank you so much for joining me. Om Shanti. Peace. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you feel and can see the benefits that even just a simple practice like this, regardless of how long you've been practicing yoga, is super accessible and attainable and can bring you right back into your body. Come back to this practice as often as you need it. And if you do not have my new free daily yoga and meditation calendar, the link is in the description below. Every day for the month, I have picked out a practice for you to practice, for you to tune into. So make sure you sign up. I will be releasing a new calendar at the end of the month. And so if you sign up now, you will get all the future calendars as they come out as well. So I tell you which practice to do every single day and just help take the guesswork out of our mindfulness practices. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, please take a moment to do so. It helps more people find free yoga. And let me know if you liked this chair practice, if you would like to see more of them, or if you have any other requests for your time on your yoga mat. I will see you back here for your next practice.